There are a variety of things that can affect your balance. But to start things off, up first on the list, muscle weakness. If the muscles in your legs aren't strong, they're not going to be able to support your body while doing anything, while walking, going up and down stairs, going through curbs, anything like that. That weakness is what's not going to provide you with the stability to maintain that upright position. Joint stiffness or decreased mobility. Think about our ankles. If our ankles are really tight and we're walking on any type of uneven surface, we're walking on grass, we're walking on carpet, we're not going to be able to have that mobility that's required to place our foot firmly on the ground to maintain that stable position. Number 3 plays a role in both the first and the second thing. So muscle strength and stiffness are 2 things that if you don't continue to work on them, you're going to lose them. So we have to maintain a physical activity. We have to maintain an active lifestyle. If you are somebody who tends to live a sedentary lifestyle, you find yourself sitting, watching TV most of the day or reading a book, that's going to play a factor in both your strength and your mobility, which is going to in turn decrease your balance and stability throughout your daily life. There are other things such as medications, which are important for your balance. We might not think about it, but many of the side effects of medications, such as blood pressure medication or allergy medications, many of those side effects are dizziness or lightheadedness. So it's very important to talk to your primary care physician if you're going through any medication changes and you start to feel a little lightheaded or something feels a little bit off. It's very important to capitalize on that and make sure that any medication changes are properly being discussed with your primary care physician or the doctor referring those medications. Many medical conditions can also play a role in your balance. If an individual is diagnosed with a stroke or arthritis, they're likely going to have some of this muscle weakness or joint stiffness that I've been talking about earlier. It's important. So while those things aren't necessarily reversible, there's strategies that we can work on in physical therapy and in your daily life to improve those conditions and increase your activity as much as we're able to. If an individual suffers from diabetes, they might have something called diabetic neuropathy, which then changes the sensation in their feet. If our feet aren't giving us proper awareness of where we are in space, or if we're walking on an uneven surface, that's going to make it even more difficult for us to maintain our balance. We rely heavily on our vision for our balance. If we start to sway to the side, our eyes tell us, "Oop, the room's turning." We have to counteract that to maintain that upright position. But if we're unable to see, if we're having any vision changes, that's going to make it more difficult for our body to interpret that information. And then the last medical condition I have listed there for you guys is inner ear problems. If any of you have been diagnosed with vertigo before, you might have been told this is due to a problem with the crystals in your inner ear. So these crystals, again, provide us feedback. If we close our eyes and turn to the side, our body knows that we're turning. And that's through different systems in our body that we're getting that feedback. But if those crystals are out of place, that's again something that's going to make our balance more difficult to maintain. And lastly on the list, something that we're unable to control, and I've been told many times in here, don't get old. But unfortunately, the aging process is negatively linked with balance. So while that one we're not necessarily able to control, all these other things on the list we're able to improve or decrease the regression of them to improve your safety with doing all the activities that you want to do.